It is Friday. It is Stash Wars Live. I'm Mike the Sig Slayer. And thank all the people that are going to be chilling with me tonight. Sorry for the confusion. It was always meant to be this time. I think I started this at 7 o'clock. I had it listed at 7 o'clock. It was always going to be 8. So Stash Wars Live is always going to be 8 Central, 9 Eastern. And yes, man, we got a lot to unpack. As you guys trickle on in, please smash the like button for me. Do your boy a favor. We got some special guests. We are unpacking all of San Diego Comic-Con. Shout out to Space Case. What up? We're packing all of San Diego Comic-Con, man. It's going to be a big show. We got some guests coming in as they trickle in, but I wanted to start the show off just kind of talking a little bit about San Diego Comic-Con. So San Diego Comic-Con is next week. Starting on Wednesday, it ends next Sunday, the following Sunday. And it's the biggest show, in my opinion. It's the biggest show of the calendar year. I've been to New York. I've been to Mega. I went to Heroes this year. I know Terrificon is not bigger than San Diego. I'm not really talking about numbers and size. I'm talking about just overall cachet. This show is a mystery wrapped in an enigma, and you guys are going to find out in short order. It's when people say Comic-Con, they automatically think San Diego Comic-Con because it is the Comic-Con, but there are bigger shows. I do believe New York is numbers wise bigger than San Diego, but it's not as immersive, and that's what we're going to really unpack today. San Diego Comic-Con, for all the people that have never attended, is a very immersive show. It's one of those shows where it pretty much downtown San Diego gets shut down. And that's the one thing that's different than all the other shows. Like New York got stuff going on. You don't need New York Comic-Con for New York to pop. But San Diego is not a big city, and it shuts down like a quadrant of that city. And so you don't necessarily have to even be inside the con to experience the festivities of Comic-Con, because they just have stuff all over the place, promotional stuff. You can see advanced screenings. They have just theaters where you can watch, anime or sci-fi movies. Just all kind of stuff going on at San Diego Comic-Con. So it's one of the shows where you don't necessarily have to be inside of the venue to experience. And in some cases, it's actually more popping outside. If you are a casual fan, if you're not like a comic guys like us and, Sig Slayers like we are, and you just want to kind of browse around and just see all the wonderful sights, San Diego's popping more outside. I mean, there's all kind of stuff going on. There's bars. It's in the, I think it's called the Gaslamp District or something like that. And there's bars all over the place. So it has festivities there normally. But as we start getting into the tour to San Diego Comic-Con, everything, it just takes over everything. SDCC Marvel predictions. Well, here's my thing about Marvel. No one's really expecting anything. I think this is for the first time in a really long time. Like, Marvel got to show us something. They got to impress us. I think people are kind of oversaturated with Marvel right now. And so we need to see something that we are not used to seeing with Marvel. So that's my, I don't have my prediction. I have more of a request. Marvel impress us, because right now DC has taken over with Absolute Batman. And then we also have the announcement that happened, I think a couple weeks ago, where they're announcing Absolute Batman animated series. So, and then Marvel Comics, they're moving from New York to LA, or more specifically Burbank. So I'm just curious about the state of affairs with Marvel. They're in no position to be making no predictions. They need to just get the job done and impress some people, because I hope Spider-Man's good this year. I hope the Doom movie is good next year, but people at large has not been impressed by Marvel in quite some time. And so tell me your prediction, because I mean, you got this Avengers join on your icon. Let me know what you think. You're more dialed in than me. All I know is that word on the street, Marvel was kind of they're lacking right now, or whether it be cinema or the comics, especially the comics. So let me know what you're excited about, because I'm curious about that. I haven't heard anything bubbling and boiling, not even enough to even generate a prediction. I hate to say, but going back to San Diego, I say all that to say this: it's the biggest show. It has the biggest fanfare. You get all the announcements. You got Hall H. You get the celebrities. We got people talking about Marvel. That's what San Diego brings to the table, right? There's a lot of freebies and exclusives that you can get. Those are all the pros. I'm going to get into the cons for a second. And the cons for San Diego, for me personally, is it's the most disorganized convention in all the land, okay? It's the only convention where you can go on the website and not know who the hell is going to be there. And whoever they announce, that's like it's less than a fraction, okay, of who's actually going to be there. And I'm going to prove the point, okay? They'll have their little special guests, which is hard to find. And then you'll have to look at the artist alley. And then you got to kind of do a lot of forensics to even find out who's going to be there. It's one of the shows where they depend on the actual vendors themselves, the people that have the tables, to promote their own stuff. Whereas Heroes, which has a long list of people, Baltimore, New York, you go on their site at any given time and you'll see who's going to be there. All of the, whether it's comics or not, all of the programming. With Comic-Con, you'll get the panels and stuff like that, because that's more what they are about the educational aspect. But as far as the creators and stuff, oh my goodness, it's the worst. It's the worst. Let's see what Nolan Gonzalez is talking about here. Okay, X-Men cast announcements, Comic-Con predictions, Avengers Doomsday, Secret War Part 1 and 2, Champion Series Nova movie. Okay, these are deep dive. Okay, so you think it's going to be a Part 1 and 2 of the movie, which they better get Part 1 right. Shang-Chi 2 announcement in Hall H. Now this I would be excited about. I would be excited about a Shang-Chi 2, because to be honest, that was the last movie that I liked. Shang-Chi 1. All the rest of them were, I'm not going to say they were terrible, but they were like, whatever, forgettable. Like, I wasn't like, oh, let me rush and go back on Disney Plus and watch that movie. I have all, the whole Marvel catalog on Disney Plus, and I'm not getting any rewatch value out of them. But I did see Shang-Chi multiple times. And to see a sequel, I would love to see what they'll do and how they kind of tie in other characters in the MCU with Shang-Chi. So I'm curious about that. Yeah, Blade announcements. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And so going back to San Diego, it's really hard to find out who's going to be there. So I did some of the work for you guys. Let me know if you guys are, let me know in the chat if you're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. Would love to say what up to you. So let me know. The Blade announcement, that is a good one too. All right, so the first thing, so I'm just going to just kind of go over this, and then we got some guests coming up. So we have actual vendors that are going to be here with guests. They have guests at their table, right? And so we're going to unpack that too. So all because you see a vendor on the map or on the listing, it doesn't really tell you who's going to be at their table. And sometimes they'll have comic book talent at random places like card tables or selling, toys or whatever. So it's just a hot mess. So you really do have to do a lot of research, and they don't really start trickling out the names of who's going to be at San Diego Comic-Con until like a week or two at best. And so it's really disorganized, but it's worth going. It's definitely worth going. If you haven't been to San Diego Comic-Con, I highly recommend it, but I always say don't get your hopes up, because you just never know how things are going to land. Even with all this research, once you get there, things may change. And so if you're going there for the first time, I would just say soak it in, because it's definitely an 8th degree black belt con. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know where everything's at. And there's just people shoulder to shoulder of well-informed people. So not just comics, so toys. You're talking about the top notch of everybody. So it's going to be high competition. Usually the exclusive sell out, around Thursday, Friday if you're lucky. So if you're like into like Tamashii Nation stuff, things of that nature, or Alex Ross, a lot of that stuff before Saturday is sold out. So if you are trying to get exclusives, you have to really prioritize that, which sucks because if you're trying to get SIGs, that's a whole mess too. So it's really, you have to kind of pick your poison, or as we say, you got to go on the Ocean's 11 mission, which means you got to have a crew of people with tasks. And so to ensure that everything gets covered, because if you're solo, odds are you're not going to check off everything on your list because of the competition and just the way things is. It's a high degree of difficulty show. But with that said, the tagline at the bottom of this segment says, will SIG prices increase again? Okay, so from MegaCon to Heroes, we got a price increase. Okay, so from MegaCon to Heroes, we got a price increase. And then now we have, this is usually where we have the rollouts. It's San Diego. We have another rollout. So, for example, Nick Dragata was $10 in New York. Heroes, he's 15. Dan Mora was $10 at MegaCon and at Planet Comic Con. But then last week at Florida SuperCon in Miami, he was 15. So Chicago Fan Expo, he's $15. So he did a price increase mid-year. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some people, dangling around the $10 price point. San Diego, because people assume people got cheddar to spend. So that's usually the opportune moment to go up in price. And so, but let's talk about who's going to be there, because how do you prepare for a show a week in advance? You know what I mean? Like, so you get your ticket a year ahead, and then you don't know who you're actually excited to see until a week before. It's really weird like that. And so let's talk about who's going to be there. Well, first off, my main man David Barron's going to be there. So he's going to be Artist Alley BB03. And then we still have BarCon. So we have BarCon on Thursday at 12 at the field. So you definitely check that out. But if you're a fan of Batman, Detective Comics, he also did this cover with Doug Mahnke. This is Absolute Batman 21. So this is the issue from last month. He'll have copies there to sign and remark. Also, if you're in a Black Mirror, Batman Who Laughs, I mean, so much stuff. But David Barron is also a team member here on the Sig Slayer station. He has a show called The Process. And he talks about everything there, as far as from a professional level, from writing to even people that augment comics, but also artists. We've interviewed publishers. So you definitely want to check out The Process here on the Sig Slayer station. But he's going to be here all week. Artist Alley, one of the best people in the business, one of the best personalities in the business. So pull up at David's table, Artist Alley BB03. But then here's where we get to the onslaught, right? So there's an onslaught of people. And so if you know about Comic-Con, any Comic-Con, and you get signatures, you are familiar with the entity known as comic sketch art, okay? Comic sketch art pretty much dominate, I would say, a third or more of any Artist Alley at any given time, okay? So I managed to talk to some friends, and This is a list of the people that we know of so far that are repped under Comic Sketch Art. That's going to be at this show. Scott Snyder, you know, this dude's everywhere. How the hell is he writing Absolute Batman when he's at a show every damn weekend? Jesus Christ. So you got Scott Snyder, Pornshak, you know, that absolute people. Javi Fernandez, you know, if Javi's going to be there, Belen Ortega is going to be there. But some notable people. You know, Frank Miller goes to every San Diego Comic-Con. So he's kind of like grandfathered in. He's $100, just so you know that. So he's tier 5. Frank Miller is $100 a sig. But then I haven't seen Tom King all year long, actually. So Tom King's going to be there. I'm curious to see if he goes up from 10 to 15 or 15 to 20. Chip Zdarsky's going to be there. Who else that I see? Oh, Ryan Otley. So if you haven't seen Ryan Otley, guys, and I think I may have a Ryan Otley slide. No, I took it off. Ryan Otley is $20 a signature now. Last year he was $10. But he's $50 on anything Invincible. That includes the Battle Beast shit. Okay? So if you're looking to get any of that Invincible stuff signed by Ryan Otley, be prepared to pay $50. Okay? $50 for anything Invincible signed by Ryan Otley. And I really think he's missing the mark on that. I'm not saying do it for free, but $50, that's steep. And you're talking about books that are not worth not even a fraction of $50. And so his name is not going to move the needle on any of those books. I really think it's really crummy. But if you want to pay the $50, Ryan Otley's going to be there. One of the people that I'm excited to see, I cannot wait to see, is Andy Kubert. Andy Kubert's going to be there, and I'm very curious to find out if Andy Kubert, last time we saw Andy, he was $10. He didn't do any shows. Let's think about that. He did a LA art show last year, but he hasn't did any cons. And the last time we saw him, he was $10, which was tier 1. But if he's making his first con appearance at San Diego and under Comic Sketch Art, we could very much expect $15, $20 maybe. I'm just kind of bracing yourselves, guys. I just want you guys to brace yourselves for any, sudden changes, and that's what we're here for. He also the first appearance of Gambit, he charges $60 for. The first appearance of Damian Wayne, he charges $60 for. I'm talking about Andy Kubert. And Batman 666, Andy Kubert charges $60 for. But otherwise, he was $10. Now, as soon as we get back from San Diego, I will give you guys a report, the post-game report on where do all these prices land, because maybe everything stays pat, or I got a lot of reporting to do and letting you guys know where those prices went up. This con, San Diego, is the con where I see new policies. Oh, and that's another thing that I want to talk about. Signature policies. People like Scott Snyder, 10-item limit now. Okay, so if you have a big name, you only can get 10 signatures per person. Okay, so if you're expecting to load up on Absolute Batman, there's 22 issues now. You won't be able to get them in one sitting. And that's for Nick Dragata as well. So Nick Dragata has a 10-item limit. So does Scott Snyder. Okay, so that was rolled out in Heroes Con, because at MegaCon, Snyder was 20-item limit. Okay, so here's all the Comic Sketch Art people. I'm leaving up there so you guys know. Moving on. And then we got Essential Sequential. The Essential Sequential folks, they got people like Art Adams, Jeff Loeb. Who else do they have? Mark Chiarello. David Finch. David Finch is $15 now. Okay? So these are the people under the Essential Sequential. And so usually they start they actually showing you right there near lobby F, and they have a whole little row, and everybody's all together. So various price points. Art Adams went up. He's $20 now. So I remember Art Adams was one free, then 10. Now he's $20 a signature now. Okay, just to let you guys know about that. And then Ghost Machine. Oh my God! Finally, we get some Ghost Machine love. And Jason Fabok, guys, if you are Three Jokers fans, Geiger, Rook Exodus, High Street, this is the booth for you. And these are the times for the whole weekend here. All right, so this is the Ghost Machine table here. And last time, this is Jason Fabok's first San Diego Comic-Con, and the last time I saw Jason Fabok was in Philly Fan Expo, and he was $10, but that was in 2024. So that was 2 years ago. He can move up. Jeff Johns was $40 last time we saw him, and he could move up. So you're already talking $40, $50 for the both of them for one book, right? But here's their signing schedule here. And so you're going to have Fabok, Johns, Danny Mickey, Maytaw, Zahoot. And then I'm wondering if Lamont McGee is going to do something about the Soulless. I'm curious to see what's up with that. But I'm going to get this Ghost Machine ash can. So I'm definitely getting that. But yeah, so if you're interested in Jeff Johns, man, this is his schedule. And usually their booth is somewhere near the Image booth. It's like adjacent to the Image booth. Our last week's guest, Sean Gordon Murphy, who was on the Sig Slayer station last week, promoting The Last Driver. You can get a Last Driver ash can. And I don't know if it's free or not, but you can get it there. And dude, this dude is doing God's work here. As you see the top row, 5 signatures free, and then $5 after that. I mean, you can't beat that with a bat. You can't beat that with a bat. So a 20-second doodle is $50 for a little remark. Oh, what could you do in 20 seconds? That's pretty crazy. He must be swift. But this is Sean Gordon Murphy here. Sean Gordon Murphy is 5 items free, and then after that, it's $5 a pop. You can't beat that with a bat, dude. And then he got a $300 sketch for 10 minutes. That's not bad either. And then I got to hit up my man Quan. Shout out to Quan Chang's booth. He got John Tyler Christopher. He's probably gonna have Stephen Platt. I think Stephen Platt is at his table. I think Jerome Opena is going to be at his table. All of those guys are $10. Jerome Opena is $10. Stephen Platt's $10. But then if he has Joe Quesada, if Joe Quesada's at the table, then he's going to be $30 a signature. My man Noel Gonzalez is going ham on the comments, man. Much love. So Quan Chang, shout out to him. Booth 4712, 4712. That's where he's going to be. And usually all of his artists are there. John Tyler Christopher. And like I said, Stephen Platt, Jerome Opena. And here we go. Who else? I don't know. So that's the sucky part about San Diego. You can prepare till the cows come home and still come up short because you don't know who's going to be there. And then here we go. We got James Tynan the fourth. I mean, this dude, I remember when he was doing Batman. And he was just, as we say in LA, he was just a little BG. You know what I mean? He was a little BG. Now, he's full on G status. He's not an OG because he's still young. But he's a G. He's a certified G right now. He is running shit. James Tynan is running shit. You got Exquisite Corpses, Something's Killing the Children, Nice House on the Lake. I mean, the dude is just killing it, man. Department of Truth, I forgot about that. What I love about James is that he still does 3 items free. Okay. And then I hope he's $10. I don't know. We may get a new rollout, guys. That's what I'm talking about here. Will we see price increase again? Because we saw one in Heroes Con. We saw one in MegaCon. And so San Diego, now that San Diego has a lot of national competition, people are, strategically, pinpointing when they want to do their price increase. But traditionally it was this show. And I'm telling you, don't be shocked if some of your favorite names increase their price again. So we gotta, I don't know how you budget for a show like this, because you don't know who's going to be there, and then you don't know how much they're going to cost. And you know what's funny? Let me know in the chat. Have you ever been on IG or Facebook when people are promoting, oh, I'm going to be at booth, like something like this, right? Let's say, okay, so Sean Gordon Murphy has his price up, right? But let's say like Werther here, Werther Deladera, right? Something's Killing Children, Absolute Batman 22. I got my copies. Let's say he posts this, right, on Instagram. And then you go into the chat, and into the comments, go like, well, how much you charge for a signature, right? And then they ghost you. They don't even say nothing. And then another person, likes that comment, or maybe co-sign on that comment, and then nothing. And then lo and behold, you show up at the show and they went up $5 more since the last time you saw it. I'm not saying this about Werther. I'm just saying that this is a hypothetical. But Werther is going to be at booth 2314. Last time I checked, he was $10. Okay, so we're still doing investigation here. Yes, for the first time, the comic vet, man. I'm a vet of San Diego Comic-Con, so this will be like my almost 30th. And so, and that's why I'm giving you guys all of this game, because if you don't know how to prepare for this, you could go home very pissed off. There's a lot of people, and if you're going there for comics and you're trying to get exclusives, there's people are like, you don't know what camping out means until you go to San Diego. So there's motherfuckers there. There's probably somebody camping out right now, okay, trying to get an edge on you. So you can't be cavalier. You can't be nonchalant. If you want something there, you have to prioritize it. So if it's your number one, get it the first day and your first minute there. That's what you're trying to get, even if you're early, because some things take 2-3 hours lead time just to get there. Okay. So depending on what you want, you may have to invest not 1, not 2, maybe even 3 hours of lead time, wait time, in order to be right on time. So I'm not kidding you when I say San Diego Comic-Con, you need an 8th degree black belt in conning, in doing these conventions. And if you grew up in the Comic-Con world like me, all these other cons all over the world are piece of cake, barbecue chicken. Okay, because like I said, you don't know who's going to be there from week to week at these shows. You never know who's going to be there. Tino, what up? You at the Sig Slayers comic vet? I don't call myself the Sig Slayer for nothing. 38. Oh, is that Mike? Is that my boy Mike? I don't know if that's my boy Mike. Is that the Michael Kelly that I know? My compadre? Or do we got a bunch of Michael Kellys in the world? Because I got a Michael Kelly that I hit, and he calls me my brother too. So maybe. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's my guy. There's my guy. That's my guy. Now this dude right here. Okay, tell him in the chat, man. Am I exaggerating about not knowing who's going to be there in the competition? if this is your 38th, Mike, let them know in the chat that I'm not lying, dude. I'm trying to prepare these guys as much as I can. And you gotta be prepared. And so I'm trying to give you as much preparation as possible. And let me move on before my guest comes in. Where are we at here? I was at Werther. Oh, Dustin Wynn. He's another saint. This guy is a saint. Dustin Wynn is a saint. He's an artist, Alley CC01. But look at this. First 10 unique books are free. And then $5 for each duplicate. But dude, you get 10 books for free? That's crazy. So we got Dustin Wynn doing God's work. And then here's another one, guys. Andy Kubert. Now this is, I can't wait. I'm going to have him sign a page. I'm gonna bring some Damian Wayne love to his ass at booth 4903. But we're going to continue on with this. I got a very special guest coming in. Let me check out some of these comments real quick. Straight on point. See? I told you, like, you got to be prepared. So I got a special guest about to come on the show right now. This man I met him in the comic art community. And then once I got to know him, and then you just realize that everybody that collects comic art, they're still uber into comics. You know, whether they're reading or not, they're still aware of the discourse. They know who is doing what projects, right? And this guy right here, I know he's a Valiant fan, but what makes him so important to this show right now, this is a living example of a comic book fan rising up and living their dreams. This man has started his own comic book publishing company, 24/7 Comics. And we're going to talk about 24/7's Comics, their presence at San Diego Comic-Con right now. So we got the founder and publisher, Carl Choi, in the house. What up, man?
Yo!
How you doing, dog?
Sig Slayer in the building.
We are in the building.
Feel like Rocky. I feel like I had to come in strong and just represent San Diego. That's how I feel right now. San Diego's like the main event. It's like a UFC fight for publishers.
Yes.
And we're the underdog. We're the young kids, new, fresh label. So, we're in it. We're getting ready.
So, okay, so let's talk. Before we get into 24/7 Comics, this is not your first rodeo as a fan. Tell these folks how crazy San Diego is.
It's insane. San Diego, if you haven't been, I highly recommend it. It's life-changing. You got to go in there and just make it a journey. And it's like the Mecca, man. You go, you run into all sorts of people. You'll probably find someone you know or people that you would not expect to be dressed up as like a princess. But it's everything, dude. Like anything you could think of when it comes to pop culture is there. I mean, it's a lot less comic books per se as like we were used to growing up. I still remember in 7th grade, my first time at Comic-Con, I had a backpack and I was walking around and it was like I had my backpack to trade my books and there was just long boxes everywhere and you're just digging all day long. And it's just like, like a conference room, but nowadays, man, like it's a festival, man. It's crazy.
Oh, okay. We can't just gloss over this. This dude just said he's been going to San Diego since the 7th grade. Okay. Yeah. So this dude is a vet. And this proves my point of the community rising up and living their dreams. So let's talk about 24/7 Comics at Comic-Con. So I have something that I want to pull up real quick to make things easy. Sure. Boom. So I got our signing schedule here. Yep. And so let's start here, man. Let's break down what's popping off.
This page was made for you Sig Slayers over there. And we got something going on every day. Last year we were very happy to announce Terry Kavanaugh joining us as our executive editor. For those of you who don't know, he was the one who put Barry Windsor-Smith on Weapon X. He put Jay Lee on Namor. He put Stephen Platt on Moon Knight. He put Sam Keith into Marvel Comics Presents. He was in charge of the whole run of Marvel Comics Presents as a key editor, and so he joined. He was retired for about a decade, and then he came back and basically joined us to be our executive editor. And since then, he's been bringing the heat. And so Howard Mackey, he'll be signing with him. We announced Mark Texera will be joining him on Friday.
You Tex?
Yeah, Tex is coming, man. What? And we have a big surprise that we'll be showing off. And you can only see the surprise at the booth. And it's going to be very limited. It'll be free, but first come, first serve. And then Thursday, we're going to have Brian Pucciletto, who's going to have a remastered project with us under 24/7 Comic Spotlight called Sons of the Devil. Anderson Carmen is our big launch. He has a book called Cyber League Baseball, and he'll be signing of everybody because everyone did covers for him. Sean Chen included, our partner Sean, who really been at 24/7 since the beginning. You guys know him for Iron Man, Wolverine. If you're a Valiant fan like me, you'll remember him, and his million copies sold of Ryan the Future Force #9. He talked about on our channel that this return to San Diego Comic-Con is very special because this is where he was discovered by Barry Windsor-Smith and recruited into Valiant. Our collectors love Mannix. Mannix did a Cyber League homage. I could show you guys when the cameras are back on what that looks like. I've been hit up for that one a lot. Let's see who else. Lucas Lee Garza, as you guys know, his father is none other than Mr. Jim Lee. But he has been building a path of his own, and he did a cover for our brand new remastered version of Newman, which is Mr. Rob Liefeld's creation. And this remastered version was inked by Bill Sienkiewicz. And and we will have these special remastered versions, limited edition, at our booth as well, 1837. And then Brian Ching, this is a last-minute ad. He was on Star Wars for about 10 years, and then he's one of the co-creators of Zero Ghost alongside Justin Jordan. And then on Saturday, DJ Milky, creator of Princess Eye on the Tokyo Pop side. And then a really big one is 2 o'clock on Saturday. Sean Chen will be signing with Godtail. And Godtail also has an exclusive of us during this time, which I can show you guys when the cameras are back on. And on Sunday is Lucas Lee Garza and Sean Chen coming back together to sign 2 of the books that we have offers exclusive. I don't know if we'll have any left. But then Joshua Pruitt is also on the Tokyo Pop side. So that's our lineup for you, Sig Slayer.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about business. Let's talk about business real quick, because people really rely on the Sig Slayers to get the mathematics on the SIGs and stuff like that. And you got some legends at, you're being humble right now. And I get it. You guys are indie and all that. But you got some names at this at your booth, dog. And you got all this, man. Like, you write about Mannix, Tom Cavanaugh, Sean Chen, crazy, right? But what about the SIGs? Like, what are they charging? Do you know any information about what the signature prices or anything like that?
I'll show you all the books that they'll sign for free.
Okay, there we go. Let's go there. Let's go there.
Okay. So we got exclusives. Like who do you want to see first? You want to see Godtail, Mannix, Lucas Lee Garza, Bill Sienkiewicz?
I want to see that Bill Sienkiewicz, and I'm gonna put you on a full screen real quick. Give me 1 second.
Here goes.
There you go.
So as I mentioned, guys, here's the Bill Sienkiewicz cover with Lucas Lee Garza. It's for Newman. Newman, this is a remastered edition. It's only going to be 200 copies, but as you guys see, it's a very Rob Liefeld book. If you didn't know, Youngblood number 100 that just came out, they were reintroduced in the recent Youngblood 100. And so this one is going to be our exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con, limited 200 copies. And then check this out. We want to showcase Bill's inks over Lucas's pencils. So we did a foil black and white limited edition, 100 copies. And these ones are $20. These are $30. But they'll sign these for free. So that's the first one. And then the second one I'll bring up is this kid is a legend in the mix of like original comic art fans. And he did an homage for Cyber League to Major League Baseball. Right. Great comic. So Mannix did this. Inside is Anderson Carmen's art and the preview as an ash can. And then This was also limited to 200 copies, and then this is 100 copies, which is the full variant, trade dress free, and it's basically all the pieces that Mannix painted. So this thing is it's something Mannix and Anderson will sign for free as well. And then last but not least, this is the summer special brought to you by Godtail.
Ooh, I like that.
Yep, this is awesome. This is off the Evermind. And then you got the, smash it like the button, exactly. This will also be signed for free by Godtail. As you guys know, it's very rare for Godtail to sign for free like this, but he's a homie, so he's going to take care of us. This is also limited to 100 copies. And then the very, very limited piece is actually this fall edition, a first look. So as you guys know, Evermind is all about the day and the night. So we're going to offer both editions. And the night edition, though, the only way to get it is if you participate in our card hunt. We have a card hunt coming up that's in partnership with 6 partners. So it's going to be PSA. It's going to be short boxed. We're going to have Big Clutch. We're going to have Joe Benitez, Wicked Town. And then the last one is... Who's the last one? There's 6 partners. Oh, man. I'm brain dead right now. It'll come to me. But regardless... Comic Link. So each of those booths will offer one of 6 cards. So
hold on. Let me blow you up again on that one. Hold on.
Yeah. So I'm premiering this actually on the internet here today. This is a Cyber League cover by Daniel Warren Johnson. So these cards will be 100 cards per day per booth. This will be available at the PSA booth. So you got to collect this guy. The second one you got to collect is the Mannix Cyber League cover. Also 100 per day per booth. This is at the Comic Link booth. Third one, Sean Chen's Evermind DPS cover. This will be at the Wicked Town booth. 100 per day. The Godtail Summer Special will be with Big Clutch and Roops Comics. Lucas Lee Garza, Bill Sienkiewicz, Newman cover. This will be, I believe, short boxed. Okay, and then this last one is another exclusive premiere. Is the Mario Vocillo Newman manga cover. This will be at the Joe Benitez Lady Mechanica booth. So, yeah, man, we have so much going on, and then you bring all those cards back. You get to redeem one of these guys, and then on top of that, if you take a photo, like a selfie like this with all 6, tag us on Instagram, you can get put into a drawing for a 1-of-1 Lucas Lee Garza, Jim Lee original art piece. So Lucas Lee Garza pencils, it's an absolute Wonder Woman art piece. So I don't have it here with me. I still gotta go grab it from.
I think I saw that on Instagram. I think he was like drawing it or something on Instagram.
Yeah, he was drawing it, and Jim's on it, and then it's a whole prize package. We also have like a PSA Absolute Batman graded 9.8 J Lee cover in that package, and then I think Big Clutch threw in Dungeon Crawler Carl Zero signed by the creator on CGC Signature Series. And then we got the Joe Benitez Absolute Batman cover. It's a crazy grand prize. So, if that doesn't give you an incentive to do this card hunt, I don't know what will.
Dude, guys, so it's like getting all the Dragon Balls, guys. Yeah. So you guys got to go to all of the, you said Comic Link, Short Box. What was the other ones again?
PSA, Joe Benitez.
And they're free. All you do is just grab them?
They're all free. I think the only one, I think they all have different terms. I think for example, I think PSA, if you're already doing something with them, you get it for the first 100 customers. If you're grading whatever else, I think with short box is you gotta just like them on their profile or something like that. So everyone kind of got a little something, but we're gonna make it fun, just all to get together. So
and so the Lucas Lee Garza Jim Lee collab, that piece, that's you collect all the cards. Take a picture, tag 24/7 Comics, and then they can enter and win it for free.
A raffle for free. We're gonna do it live on our channel right after the San Diego Comic-Con, probably on either the 28th or the 30th, depending on what our schedule is like. but we're literally gonna do a full-on live stream with every creator that's part of that signing schedule, and then we're gonna figure out who the heck wins this thing. So yeah, it's on, man. It's on.
It is on, man. And guys, I want to let you guys know another secret too, is that Sig Slayers and 24/7 Comics, we're going to be collabing, so you're going to be getting comprehensive coverage of 24/7 Comics throughout the week, all on IG, and I'll be clipping up some cool stuff on YouTube after the show. But you'll be getting on the scene coverage. You'll be getting some interviews of the table, all kind of stuff, guys. So you guys will, if for the people that can't be at the show, it'll feel like you're there. So please follow 24/7 Comics, follow Sig Slayers if you haven't already, and we both have YouTube channels, so you're already here. And then 24/7 also has a YouTube channel where they do all kind of interviews as well. Do you want to talk about your YouTube channel?
Yeah, man, 24/7 HQ. That's where like everything 24/7 happens. I also want to make a quick announcement that next Thursday at noon is when you'll get to know your boy Mike West better and his art collection, because that's when his episode on my Collecting with Carl premieres in the midst of Comic-Con. So I'm excited for you guys to see what I saw.
Okay, so guys, I gotta say something about that. I'm excited about that too. This will be the only interview about my art collection that you'll see. So if you want to know about the art collection, my greatest hits, and why I collect art and all of that, check that out, man. I'm excited to see it, man. That I didn't know that, man. So we busting all kind of announcements here.
Oh shit! One more thing. All these cards that you collect, besides the 6, we're gonna have these signature cards. See the Bill Inks, Anderson Carmen. There's another Anderson card. Well, we got some surprise. I'm not gonna name names, but we got some surprise guests that's gonna show up. These cards will be limited to 100 a day at our booth. Oh, I'll hide that one. It's gonna be surprise, and the creators will sign all these for free as well. So if you get your hands on these, all the creators will sign these for free. And then when it comes to the booth, check out the I think there's gonna be signage on like what they charge for other stuff. But basically all that stuff I showed you, they'll sign for free.
Wow, man, it's gonna be popping, man. I can't wait. This year San Diego is gonna be like, we had an event last year at the field, and we had like all kind of people, all kind of artists show up. It was wonderful. But this year we got boots on the ground. We're gonna be covering exclusive stuff with you at 24/7 Comics and all your wonderful artists there. I'm really pumped up about this. And then let's go back to San Diego for a second. In general, your administrative hat on, and you talked about how crazy it is. Talk about, just explain to our viewers a little bit about what it takes to run a table at the biggest con of the year.
It takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of coordination. A lot of what goes into it is also making sure that you are doing things that will break through the noise, give people a reason to talk about. And then for us, because this is our premiere into comic book shops this fall, we're also going to be attending the retailer conference. So we have many facets. We have the retailers that we have to present our books to. This card chase is a total partnership to create this interconnection between our friends, right? All our friends' booths to make sure we're running traffic everywhere. And then these exclusives is a way for us to give back to the fans something. If you're there in person, you're investing time to get there, we should have something special for you as well. Because what's the point? You come to the booth and we don't give you anything new or fresh. Why, right? And then the last thing is really making sure our creators, who to us, we invest in them because we call it partnership publishing. So all our creators come along for the ride for everything we do across film, TV, anything else. So even though they're making comics with us, they're our business partners when it comes to everything to do with the stories they tell. And so it only makes sense that they're at the booth throughout the week and the weekend, so you guys can meet them, get to know them, hear from them about their experience. And a lot of it is just making sure that, we're all having fun at the same time. I think that's super important, because if we're not having fun doing this, why are we doing this?
Absolutely, man. And then how much prep time do you need for a con like this? So when did you start prepping for this?
Yeah, we started prepping for this, I'll say back in February. So it's probably a solid 4 to 5 months preliminary. Because even if you think about the books that we have to plan for, we have to talk to the artists, get the covers done ahead of time. And a lot of these covers actually was done towards the end of last year because we knew we had to get books out in time. And then the booth designs themselves, you have to go and send fabrication. And so we have to design everything that's going on the booths because as you guys see, a lot of the Comic-Con booths have these exclusives on their backdrops. So once you finish the books, you know what you're presenting and bringing for your fans. Then you gotta make them into giant posters behind you. Then once we got this whole communication between all the different partners, we have to then gather that information, put it into. I don't have it with me right now. I pick it up on Tuesday, but we're gonna have these like big newspapers with everything that I just talked about, with like check marks and everything else you could do on it. It's gonna be like I think it's gonna be a little collectible thing because we spent probably at least 50 man hours on these like posters that will show you everything we're doing, including Lucas and Jim Lee's art, and then a lot of different prize packages. And then once you collect that information, you then have to distribute it. So if you kind of search 24/7 Comics San Diego Comic-Con, you're going to now start seeing it pop up in different news sites like Comic Speed or like, the San Diego blog, etc. And then you have to manage all that information so that people know. And then you have to then make social media posts because, you can't put too much out there at once. So you have to like think about what you're posting throughout the course of the convention. And then in a blink of an eye, San Diego Comic-Con is next week. So here we are.
Yeah, man. Just like that. And all right, so you got Lucas Ligar. I was wondering where he was at. So he's working with 24/7 Comics. How the hell y'all get Bill Sienkiewicz?
Like I said, Terry Kavanaugh is bringing the heat. So Bill and Terry go way back, and he was one of the first guys that did variant covers for us when Terry came on for the book called Heroes Be Damned. He did this like red cover that looks freaking amazing, and he's the man. And I'm not gonna say who the surprise guests are, but the names come up. I'll just say that.
Okay, man. So off the rip right there. So I want to pivot and get some of your expertise as a Comic-Con veteran, sure. And right there is a perfect segue because my man Carl, he got a special unannounced guest. Tell us in the chat, give us your guesses who you think is going to be at his table. And knowing Carl, I know it's going to be somebody big, okay? So let us know in the chat, who do you guys think is going to be the surprise guest at 24/7 Comics table this upcoming week at San Diego Comic-Con? And that encapsulates the spirit of San Diego. Secrecy, right? Here's the people that you know, right? So if you go on the San Diego Comic-Con website and you just look at the special guests, you'd be like, man, this show is whack, right? Ain't nobody there because it's like, 20 special guests, and they're not any of the household names, right? But then you got to look at the vendors tables like 24/7 Comics, right? And then this and that. So you prepare, but then there's always that extra layer of surprise where people get their mind blown, and at the same time they're pissed because like, damn it, if I would have known that person was there, I would have brought this, I would have brought that. But that's the whole point, right? And so I want to ask you, hold on, let me see if they have any guesses here. DWJ, Arthur Adams, okay. Wouldn't it be something if it was Liefeld? Ooh, we got some good guests. They come up with heat right now, Carl.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing.
He's pleading the fifth. F-I-F.
Pleading the fifth all day. All day.
I love it, man. Keep the guesses coming. Okay, so been to Comic-Con since the 7th grade. I want to ask you a question about the evolution of your Comic-Con experience. Hello, once a 7th grader, now a freaking publisher, right? So what does a publisher do at Comic-Con? Now, I mean, take 24/7 Comics aside. Obviously, you still love the ambiance of Comic-Con, and you're still a collector. What do you look forward to at Comic-Con?
I think the energy, man, that energy is undeniable. When you walk in and you feel the passion of all the creators that are there, that's number one. When you walk in, that energy, it's kind of like have you ever been to Vancouver? It's like the best air in the world. When you walk out the plane, you're like, that's the energy. Number one. Two is just familiar faces, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm looking forward to seeing Terry. I'm looking forward to seeing my team. These days, we don't have an office anymore, right? We all work from home. So that's our place of gathering where we actually get to catch up. The team, after a long day, will probably go for a nice meal. Just those things are what I'm looking forward to. And then the last thing is meeting the fans, meeting our supporters. That's been with us since day one. We only started 5 years ago, and we're still the little engine that could. And so we have a long, long way to go. But we have big aspirations because, one thing we say is we are the new home for creators, for indie creators, because we're a third alternative to what's out there. And we want to really prove that by helping our creators tell the best stories and produce the best products. And so we take a lot of pride in our books, a lot of pride in our products. But I would say that major evolution, few ways. When I was younger, it was really about bringing my books to trade or to really trade or to buy books that I need to have fill-in slots for. So I would basically, if I had I remember one set I had was like long shot, 1 through 4 and then 6, and I had to go find number 5. So that was cool because for some reason in hindsight, I'm like, why did I even bring those? But you kind of just bring it to fill in that slot, just to remind you that you need it. And you kind of put it all together. And so I did that. I remember finding my long shot number 5, and then discovery. Right, you go there and you find other things that you didn't think was available. I mean, back in the day, I still remember seeing the original art for Wolverine Limited Series #1 on some dude's booth, just hanging there.
Frank Miller and Rubenstein?
Frank Miller, like that, yeah.
Shit.
Just chilling, $100, just $100.
$100?
Yeah, but it just seemed so out of reach at the time for $100.
Oh, that's just like $100K.
No. Maybe more, yo. It's crazy. So it seems so out of reach at the time, but it was a lot. So discovery is another thing. And then there was a season of my life where I discovered Cars and Girls, so I just never went to cons. But then when I came back, it was more about supporting friends who are artists. So I would go to their booths for Artist Alley. I would buy some of their comics, and then it was at Bernard Chang's booth in New York Comic Con 2017 where I discovered original art. I went to go visit him, was chopping it up. I looked down and I'm started flipping through the pages. I was like, what is this? And he says, my original art. I was like, wait, what? He's like, my original art for Nightwing. I was like, yo, I love Nightwing. And then I was like, wait, what's this? Batman? Batman Beyond? And he's like, oh yeah, those are my pages from Batman Beyond. I was like, yo, what the heck? Oh, you're selling these? He's like, yeah, I'm selling them. I was like, wait, I could own these? He's like, yeah, you can own them. And yo, that's when I caught the bug. I bought a few pages from him. And then after that, I was like, man, who else is here? Oh shit, Ron Lim? Right over. Yo, man, you got art? And he's like, yeah, of course. Here's some from Infinity Gauntlet. I was like, what? Did he watch? And so I bought a page from Infinity Gauntlet. So it was crazy. So
from then 9 years ago. 9 years ago is when you caught the bug.
9 years ago, caught the bug.
Shit, man. Okay, so can you stick around? You kicking it, or you gotta go?
Yeah, and then I'll kind of expand on that because a couple of years into that, I was in the events business. I was working in Hollywood, helping movie studios do events, and then one of the marketers at Fox asked me, "Hey, man, I know you go to Comic-Con a lot, and we have some horror titles coming up. Would you guys do Comic-Con events too?" I was like, I would love to. And so we ended up helping Fox do events. We helped Marvel do events. We worked with Skybound and did events for them. So we did a ton of events sponsored by Pepsi's of the world at San Diego Comic-Con. So I remember I was like, this is like a dream come true because I would get paid to be there producing those events outside. And then I remember I would go first thing in the morning. All my staff was setting up, and I'll be like, all right, you guys good? You guys good? All right, peace. I would go out, hit the Artist Alley, come back, check in the afternoon. Everything good? All right, good. I'm back to the con. So it was like a dream job because I'm getting paid to do stuff outside. and then I get to have my fun as well. And so, yeah, then the pandemic hit. I shut down that business, and then the rest is history. I found this publishing company with Sean Chen, and then here we are.
So the reason why I say that because I want to continue conversation. I got another guest, and you talked about comics. Okay, this guy, our next guest, I'm going to introduce. This dude, he comes in the clutch, man. He's like Curry from the side pocket. You know what I mean? Robert Ory from the side pocket. You know what I mean? Whenever I need something at San Diego Comic-Con, this dude always come in the clutch. I'm talking about, yo, P. I need Tom McFarlane. Give me something that nobody got, right? Well, here's something. And he gave me DC Invasion. He goes, look, no one's going to get this signed. This is the first appearance of the metahuman. And I was like, what? So I went and I bought it from P, went straight to Image, and then Todd signed it, man. Todd did a Venom signing in Golden Apple, and somebody ruined it. Like, I got it signed, and then it smeared.
Oh,
so the next Comic-Con, I had to get it again. So I'm like, yo, I'm scurrying it around. I'm like, yo, P, you got Spawn Batman. And hold on. This is what I got. This is
Bam.
So it started off a nice little crispy Spawn Batman at P. Dot's Comics, right? And then look at it now, man. Everybody wants this now. Who wouldn't take this now? So, guys, without any further ado, my man P. Dot, man, is in the house. Here, let me put him in. It's in the house. What up, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. And P. Dot, just for everybody know, he got one of the best shops in the Los Angeles area, actually in Pasadena. And this dude, he had Todd McFarlane last year, man. That was the last time he was here on Stash Wars Live talking about the Todd father, and this was around the King Spawn 50 release. It was kind of around there, and I wanted my dude on here because
that's crazy.
Hey man, my hair is crazy. This is crazy. What you got? Yours can be arranged.
This is like going on 3 years uncut now. I don't know what's going on. Crisis.
I gotta say, man, you're one of the biggest Batman fans I know. Know about the history, got a crispy collection and all that. So one day I'm browsing around on IG and I see Tony Daniel, the guy that I've been trying to see at a show. I would see him at any state, and I missed him because I wasn't going to C2E2. And what? My man P got Tony Daniel, the Batman guy. And so let's start there, dude. So Tony Daniel's gonna be at your table the whole week.
Well, he's gonna be appearing Wednesday, which is preview night, Thursday and Friday. So not the entire Comic-Con, because Comic-Con goes Wednesday through Sunday. But he will be there Wednesday night, Thursday, and Friday. He'll be at our booth, which is booth 1017. That's our booth every year. It hasn't moved. And he's going to be set up there, pretty much all day, give or take an hour or two for his lunch breaks. But from start to finish, Wednesday night, preview night, and then Thursday and Friday. And Tony Daniel, he's been in the business 30 plus years, doing covers that range not just Batman, not just DC, but Marvel work, Image work, independent creator-owned stuff. So he's legit. He's one of the current, living, legends in my mind, given that his, work that he's produced over those years has great volume and intensity still. He's putting out quality work to this day. You can go back last year to Nocterra that he worked with Scott Snyder. You can, go through currently what he's on. I can't spill any beans. That'll come out during San Diego Comic-Con, so I can't give away any secrets. I'm sworn to secrecy here. But there will be announcements probably at San Diego Comic-Con and after about projects upcoming. But yeah, it's going to be a great time, and we're honored to have Tony Daniel.
Man, and as a Batman fan, I know you're on cloud nine. I gotta ask, man, how the hell you get Tony down? The dude's in Chicago, you in Pasadena. How did that even? You don't go all the way to C2E2, right? You know?
No, man, no. I'm here out here in sunny Los Angeles, Pasadena, California, and SoCal. I will just say, you know, I know a lot of people, and a lot of people know me. But it was a friend of a friend and mutual acquaintances. Without sharing all the details, basically, Tony Daniel was looking to attend San Diego Comic-Con, and we were able to put something together behind the scenes to where he could be at our booth and, you know, enjoy the show in the capacity that he wants to. And, you know, that for us was great. It's a win-win because over the last few years, I've been thinking about what I want to do with my booth moving forward. The economics of comic book retailing has changed and is currently evolving into something else that, in my opinion, pushes comic book retailers as far as back issue dealers further and further away from what they used to be at Comic-Cons. And so I think to evolve as a retailer at a Comic-Con in the back issue market, you just can't compete with live streaming and e-commerce. So the future of Comic-Cons really is dependent upon creator talent and exclusivity. And, you know, to be a part of that, then we need to play that game. And so having Tony Daniel allows us to evolve with the times, and he gets to showcase, you know, his talent, and we get to bring something to the people.
Pete, man, look, there's my man Mike right here. He don't even know he's shouting you out. You don't even know. He says Mike owns the only gym apparel Sig I've ever seen. So believe my brother when he says he's a Batman guy. My first gym apparel Sig I bought from Peter.
He's an OG then, man. OG.
So yeah,
and yo, I am down the street from you, so we gotta get together at some point.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
I'm not even that far.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, Pete. Yeah. This dude, man. To me, you legendary. Now you hit on a point that I was going to say in your introduction, Pete, and that was I find it that Comic-Cons, all of them, besides maybe Heroes, I'm like, dude, where can I buy a fucking comic these days, man? So you're saying the back issue market is dwindling because you think there's a more of a presence on the signature side? Because I'm like, dude, is it, or are they raising the prices for the vendors? Like, what's the problem? Because I'm like, it's not just me that asks. It's like, dude, where are the damn comics at?
Yeah. Well, a lot of that has to do with, you know, accessibility. So Comic-Cons, there's a need for Comic-Cons. And, you know, there is definitely nothing that beats the experience of going to a Comic-Con as an attendee. You know, but as a retailer, this is where you have to, you know, evolve with the times. And if you don't have anything exclusive to that show, as a retailer, I'm not talking about creator or, you know, talent, a writer, an artist, or anything like that. But as a retailer, if you don't have anything exclusive to that show, there's no, in my opinion, there's no reason for a person to, you know, buy what you have right then and there, because they can get it at any point in time due to the fact that e-commerce and live streaming has, you know, taken away that need to purchase right then and there. You know, you can't compete. Let's say you're in the market for a Spidey 300. Let's just throw that out. And I have a booth full of them at San Diego Comic-Con. It looks great. It looks cool. But if someone can purchase that on their phone because someone's got a claim sale going on or a live stream on whatnot, or even eBay, and can purchase it, you know, why do they need to buy it right then and there at San Diego Comic-Con when they can say, well, if you're charging $300 for your Spidey 300 and I can see it on eBay for the same price, well, I can spend my $300 on something else here at San Diego and go home and then buy that same book. There's no necessity built in your experience. The only necessity then is, well, that exclusive I could only get here. And if I didn't leave, I can't buy it again. Or if I do leave and I do want to purchase it, it's going to be X amount more expensive. So I can't compete. I need to buy it here. So as a retailer, if you don't undercut, what's readily available out there in your price points, or if you don't have anything that they haven't seen before that's exclusive to the show or just uber unique that they're never going to see again, it makes it really tough. It makes it really tough. And increasing prices as far as the cost to vend, because things are getting more expensive. When you compound all of those things together, it makes retailing at a Comic-Con for a back issue dealer very difficult.
Man, okay. Now here's my thing about why back issues should be important at San Diego. Most of the other shows, I would agree with you, because here's the one thing. Let's say Heroes Con, right? Or Baltimore Comic Con. Right. You can go on their site right now and look at everybody who's going to be there, right? San Diego is the one show where all the information of the guests is not consolidated in one place. Unless unless you in the know, the blogs and all the stuff that people do all of the grunt work together. You can't just cavalierly go on one site and be like, oh, okay, this person's going to be here. That's the person's going to be there. Yeah. And then you show up, right? And then, like, for example, I'm chilling. I'm like actually in Arthur Adams' line. And then I look back and I'm like, Dave McKean is here?
Yeah.
From Arkham Asylums?
Yeah. Let me tell you. So San Diego is very unique in that it is the one show where you can count on people being there that you did not expect to be there, because it's the pinnacle of pop culture and nerddom as far as a convention goes. No one wants to miss it. People do miss it because of a number of different reasons, but no one wants to miss it. And if they can attend, they will be there. I've had many a time where I've been on my way to do something else, and like you, I've turned around and then noticed, oh my God, Grant Morrison is right behind me at the heavy metal booth, and this is my only opportunity to get a Grant Morrison signature on a Batman book. Let me book it back to my booth, grab the one book I brought just in case he showed up, then run all the way down to the other end to get a CGC witness, and then run all the way back to get him signed there because he's only there for 10 minutes because he's talking to somebody else that he's working with right now. He's not even supposed to be there as far as the signing, but he's there. So that show is unique because all of these people on the industry inside want to be there, and they do. They show up. It's for example, Tony Daniel, lives in Chicago, and this is his opportunity to commune with people on the West Coast. So he wants to be there, and he's going to commune with his industry partners and his friends. So take advantage.
Well, it's a shout out to Southern Comic Geek. He's already trolling me. He just got in talking about Mike loves CGC, knowing good and goddamn well I don't. But okay. All right. Yeah. Let's talk about Tony again and comics.
Yes.
Okay.
Real quick before you guys jump in, I gotta run. I have a date night with the wife.
Okay. So, yes.
Mike, thanks for having me as always.
Hey, brother. I'll see you on Wednesday.
On socials. I'll come find you at San Diego Comic Con. But we'll all hang next week. Sure. Thanks again for having me.
All right, man. Peace. So, just real quick, I'm thinking about the books, right? Because I'm like, okay, I got my books. Do you got any Batman RIPs you bringing through? So are you gonna have? Are you gonna have like some Tony Daniel shit that people can just buy from you? That
Yeah. So yes, Tony's bringing a limited number of prints. Because he's traveling, he can't bring everything that he can't bring his warehouse. But he's going to be bringing a limited number of prints. There's a Absolute Catwoman #2 blind bag that he's bringing as well. Very limited in nature. I think he's posted on social some of the images and books. I think every book has at least a signature and or remark. There's a few handful of surprises where they're full sketch cover art that he has hand drawn. Then within the blind bags is lottery tickets, I believe. And if you pull one of those lottery tickets, you have a chance of getting a full original art cover that he's done as the grand prize, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and so he's doing sketches, remarks, signatures. The great thing about that is he's only charging, he's charging $2 a signature for the first I think 10 or 20 books, and then after that it's about $5 or something like that. The details are on our socials, but he's really making it a point to be affordable for people. He wants to meet the fans. He wants people to bring stacks of books to sign. So definitely do so. Prepare for that. I also will have books available at the booth related to Tony Daniel works. So if you don't have something that you can think of or grab offhand to bring, I will have a few boxes of Tony Daniel work. You know, I've been telling people for the last month since we announced it that, you know, he's been in the business for 30 plus years. Almost any collection of comic books that you can acquire or go through will contain Tony Daniel work.
Yes.
He's covered X-Men, he's covered Batman, independent stuff. So you should not have a problem finding some Tony Daniel work. But if you do, you can come to our booth, 1017, and we will have stuff for you to purchase just in case that you don't have anything.
1070. Well, I'm just letting you know, man. I'm like, that's once I get in, you know, I'm covering 24/7 comics throughout the week, David Barron. But as a Sig Slayer, when I put my Sig Slayer hat on like this, I'm going to y'all table, man. I just want to show you real quick. If you can see where we're at right there. If you look up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that right there.
That needs nice. His signature on it. That needs that black Batman. Did you know that that's a black Batman right there? Did you know that?
I am Batman, right? Is it Lucius Fox or not Lucius?
No, before that. Fox? No. Black Glove. We're talking about Batman R.I.P. Remember the three Batman? The Bat Devil was black. Yeah, the new Azrael. His name is Michael Lane.
Yeah.
And so like that predates Jace Fox. And so I talked to John Galapian who inked Tony Daniel during that time, the Grant Morrison era. This is my favorite shit. Like seriously. Like Batman Tony Daniel is.
Yeah, he did. I think some of the 1-in-10s or 1-in-25 ratio variants during that run. Then he did Battle for the Cow.
Yeah,
the Battle for the Cow. Yeah,
he did the first. He's an OG. He did the only other Detective Comics #1. So there's only 2 Detective Comics #1. One was from 1930 something, and then the New 52, and then they went back to the original numbering.
The New 52 #1.
Yeah, so he's an absolute legend, and I couldn't like you represent like Carl, right? Carl represents that comic book fan, right? And he evolved, and he wanted to have his own publishing company. You evolved, and you have your own retail business, and you're still evolving, right? Now you had fucking Todd, you had the Todd father at the shop. And then you got one of my favorite Batman artists at Comic-Con. And so I'm like, dude, so and me, you know, I'm in Sigsville, USA right now. I'm not in LA no more. And so I'm living vicariously online looking at cats. I'm like, man, this new P-Dot is coming up, dude. And so I just want to say,
well, you know, evolution is necessary to become great. And, you know, we have plans for what we want to do in the future. And, you know, I'm just blessed and happy that we can do these things. And we're in the position that we're in. But it's a process. You know, it didn't just happen overnight. And, you know, things happen because the work was put in years ago. So, you know, maintain my advice to anybody out there, maintain relationships. Don't burn bridges unnecessarily because you don't know when you need to cross the bridge or where it's going to take you. So
a minor segue, P-Dot. All right, because you everything nerd here. And so just to give a wink to Noel Gonzalez, who's been killing us with Marvel predictions. Do you have anything? Because okay, let's just rewind for a minute. Because you're a Batman guy, so that means you're de facto DC, right?
De facto DC I have a bias. Yeah, I'm a DC bias. And, being a Batman guy is why I'm excited. Tony Daniel. I'm going to keep name dropping Tony Daniel every,
keep it going.
But that's why I have a bias. So having Tony Daniel at the booth is exciting. One of my favorite Batman artists there. It is great. But, a little bit of a bias towards DC, but Marvel's coming. I know a lot has not been said about Marvel as far as the comic books over the first half of 2026, but that doesn't mean the back end will be the same. And as far as the movies are concerned, there's this little movie called, Avengers Doomsday that is right around the corner.
It's right around the corner. Okay, so now you got a 24/7 comic book shop. You got virtual stores. Let's talk a little bit about the advent of Absolute Batman and is it really taking over like that? I know we got the retailer variants and exclusive and stuff like that, but on the regular cover ABC, the shit people get at a store, are they dominating like that in the stores?
Well, I'm on the record at the beginning of 2026 as one of my bold predictions for the year was saying that Absolute Batman would be the most requested back issue as well as the most requested new release. I said that at the beginning of the year. That's one of my bold predictions for 2026. A lot of people kept saying it's going to crash. The floor is going to, and rug is going to be pulled out from underneath people. But the writing was on the wall, in my opinion. But I'm looking at it from a different point of view. I'm looking at it from the retailer perspective. When 8 out of 10 people come into your store asking for a particular title, that means that the interest and demand is strong. And when a book goes, especially number one, within 1 year's time goes to almost 10 printings, well, that's proof that this book has legs for whatever the reason. It has legs. So I'm on the record as saying it was going to be the most requested back issue and most requested new release simultaneously during 2026. And we had not entered into con season yet. And now that we are entering into convention season, I'm dubbing essentially San Diego Comic-Con as Absolute Con because that is going to be the predominant feature of San Diego Comic-Con as far as retail sales of comic books. There is no question. You can look at the number of exclusives that have already dropped. You can look at how retailers are stocking their booths. Absolute Batman and the Absolute Universe will be the most pushed title at the show, basically Wednesday through Saturday. Sunday is always different. It's usually people filling their, want list or things. But for the most of the show, Absolute Universe titles will be predominantly changing hands for this show.
Stash fam,
go ahead.
Oh, so what's up?
I was gonna say from the shop perspective, it is carrying the weight of new releases. A lot of what is sold on a weekly is Absolute Universe stuff, and it's not even close. It carries the weight for most weekly revenue as far as new releases are concerned.
All right, so SCG saying here the game is DC's to lose now. My prediction is that Marvel will soon be the number 2, pretty much soon, if not the 3rd. Ooh. Okay. And so, all right, Noel Gonzalez, that's a Marvel prediction right there for that ass. Okay.
Well, if we're talking about weekly releases, Marvel does have some catching up to do. They do have a large market share of the sales on a weekly basis because of the number of titles that they produce and put out on a weekly basis. So they still are a juggernaut in terms of market share. But if you look at the titles that are actually sold as a sell-through, if you were to ask a comic shop owner hey, look at your weekly titles and tell me your sell-through percentage on first week of release, it's going to be DC and then probably Image as the higher percentage of sell-through. Marvel would likely, on an honest retailer, be third or fourth as far as their sell-through.
That was music to my ears. Why was that a fucking bar to me? That was a bar, bro. That was dope.
Over time, Marvel will sell out, over time, because people like their Spider-Man, they like their X-Men, they like their Daredevil. But on a weekly, first week release, the higher sell-through percentages are going to be DC and then probably Image.
Stash fam, I want you to know we are here with the great P Dot from P Dot's Comics, man. He has Tony Daniel at his booth. What booth number again?
1017.
1017. My man Mike said.
1017.
My man Mike said 1017 is now on his visitation list, and that's why I wanted you guys here.
Yeah, come on by.
We are unpacking San Diego Comic-Con, and there's no. I don't know anybody that's a bigger Batman fan than you, and I still got to give you more props because the last time.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
the last time you were on.
Go ahead.
The last time
I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish. I don't want to interrupt. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the last time you were on, you're also my whatnot guru, man. Because I took your advice, man, and I broke through. So I just wanted to say that, man. You gave me some gems, and I want to just thank you in front of the world. Thank you.
I appreciate that. But I was going to say a little pre-San Diego Comic-Con. I would be remiss if I did not mention tomorrow, Saturday, July 18th, we're also going to have an in-store signing with Jonathan Uribe he does some cover work for Spawn currently, Deadly Tales of Gunslinger. He's done some exclusive covers as well. So I know I'm here promoting Tony Daniel's presence, but I do need to also mention that July 18th at the shop, 12 noon to 4 p.m., Jonathan Uribe will be at the shop signing as well. So we are, like I said, evolution is key, and we want to bring these events to the fans more frequently and more often. But he's coming up from Mexico before San Diego Comic-Con. If you guys can make it, come to the shop in Pasadena and get your book signed by Jonathan Uribe as well.
That's great, man. Jonathan Uribe, I did see that on your IG as well. And that's especially good news for the people that can't go to San Diego Comic-Con, because we know that it's pretty difficult to get badges these days. And so, getting that little moral victory and getting some SIGs over the weekend, the weekend leading into San Diego, that is a plus. Tony Daniel, you got Uribe at the shop. You talked about Absolute Batman. I have one more. Here's my theory right now, or prediction, right? Because you said that your bold prediction was that it was going to be Absolute number 1 was going to be the most sought after back issue, right? And it totally is that right now. Do you think? Oh, and then we had the announcement that Scott Snyder said he got about 50 issues in him, right? Mm-hmm. And then after that, DC said they're going to let the good times roll. Okay, right. So it's looking like Absolute is going to be an ongoing when it totally wasn't meant to be that in the beginning. But I think that Absolute number 1 over time, meaning the next couple years, I think, especially when that animation comes out, I think it's going to take the Harley Quinn's for Batman Adventures 12 a crown. I think it's going to be that, that key. Because really, when you think about it, DC doesn't have really many big key books from the from modern times. You know what I mean? They don't have that many. I'm talking about $300, $400. They don't have a Deadpool like that. You know what I mean? Or something. Something that just moves the needle. They have a lot of $100 books, stuff like that. But a $400, $500 book, I think Absolute Batman as a back issue has legs. It doesn't matter how many copies they print it. What are your thoughts about that?
It's a generational key. Things are they take time, to really appreciate. This one is unique because people have begun to appreciate it in what generally is considered a short period of time. Just consider the number of homage covers have come to light because of this. Now, some of that is just coattailing,
Right.
people, copycat what is successful for the moment. So some of that has to do with that. But the younger generation of readers coming up, they really resonate with this take on Batman. And so I do see it being a potential generational key. The jury is still a little out because the book is really within its first year and a half of matriculation. So it's performing well. Let's just enjoy the ride. Who's to say that there's not another character that all of a sudden steps forward and people latch on to that. So I'm not a fortune teller, but I will say things look good for this particular book in the long term, which in our view is 5 to 10 year span, because after 10 years, then, interests change. I mean, just look at Walking Dead 10 years ago. Who would have thought Invincible would supplant Walking Dead as Robert Kirkman's premiere book? It's done a complete 180 and flipped on its head. I should have been buying Invincible instead of Walking Dead. But, things happen. So when you hit the 10-year mark, then you can definitively say, hey, this is a generational key, or, it's a good book. It's got good potential for investment value, but, you don't need to hold it for so long.
And so last couple questions here, Pete. Staying on Absolute, but really the kind of ecosystem of comics. If Absolute is first place, what would you put second and third? Like, what are the titles that are second and third, like based on your sales?
I think 1A is Absolute Batman, and then 1B is everything else Absolute. So you have 1A Absolute Batman, and then 1B being everything else Absolute. Your 2 is still Spider-Man. As an IP and intellectual property, Spider-Man sells. It's Marvel's #1 cash cow. Anytime they need a book to move, hey, put Spider-Man in it, or some sort of event book. It's Spider-Man driven typically. So 2 is still Spider-Man. 3, as far as current characters, I say it's a tight race between probably Dungeon Crawler Carl or X-Men as your number 3. Now, some of you are probably scratching your head saying, what the heck is Dungeon Crawler Carl? Well, ask your kids. They know. And those are the ones that get the parents out to the shop to spend the money. So look out for Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yeah. I'm saying it now.
Is that like a YA novel, or is that like who produces it?
I have no clue, but I can ask for Dungeon Crawler Carl. I guess it was like an original graphic novel series and a podcast that then it was like, it started off on the internet like a podcast, I think. And then it became like an original graphic novel series in print. And now it's moving into comic book format. And so, yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Stash fam, reminder, next week, San Diego Comic-Con, P-Dot's booth. We got at 10:17, P-Dot's booth, 10:17, we got the legend. 10:17. Tony Daniel, man. I'm getting RIPs. I'm getting art, man. Hey, all us actors, just do me a favor, man. Just do me a favor when I'm there, man. Just say, hey man, that's my homie right there. Just say, hey man, that's my homie right there. Let's say that. Hey man, hey, what's up, Mike? I'm there. That's all. That's all. Just say what's up, Mike.
I'll make sure to do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll tell Tony to put a little something special on that Sig, maybe.
Thank you, man. Make it fat. There we go, man. Hey, Pete, man. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. I know it's hectic. My last question to you, because you're a vet. How many Comic-Cons have you done?
Oh man, I don't.
More than 10.
Fall out. Way more than 10. I've been at Comic-Con San Diego since 2010, so this is going on our 15th, 16th year. at San Diego Comic-Con, and then, you know, over the years we've done LA Comic-Con. Before that it was Kamikaze. We've done the amazing Comic-Con umbrella of shows, which are great. If you've never been to those, definitely Jimmy and Bill put on a good show. It's great for the attendees. We do WonderCon. We've done so many. Big Wow back in the day, Phoenix Comic-Con back in the day. A number of those we, you know, don't do anymore. Family and time takes up a lot of what you can do. So, but yeah, we've done so many. I don't know.
You've done a bunch, man. And just for the people that don't know, this is why I'm gonna send you off with this, because you're a man of a lot of wisdom. What advice, any advice you want to give first time attendees? We got somebody coming from all the way from Toronto that's in the chat right now.
Okay.
So what advice would you give first time attendees going to Comic-Con?
First time attendee, I would say it's gonna be a physical taxing toll on your body. You're not thinking about that. You're so hyped up about meeting all your favorite creators, artists, and writers. You're excited to go get signatures. You're excited to go purchase exclusives. And let's say you're going to be there all week. One day, I'm not talking to you. You're there for a day. You're gone. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that are planning basically the entire stay. Wear some good shoes. Get some good sleep. Eat well, because there is a taxing toll on your body, and by that third, fourth day, it's going to start wearing you down. You're going to log 20,000+ steps easily every day. You're going to be standing, which takes a toll on your feet, your knees, your joints. If you're like me and carry a little extra baggage in places, it's going to take a toll on your back, you know. And if you don't eat well as well, you're gonna become dehydrated. You're gonna become a little discombobulated towards the end of the day, and you're gonna get cranky and tired because there's so many people rubbing shoulders with you. And eating well affects your mood. So if you eat well, you'll be in a good mood, and if you're in a good mood, then good things happen to you. People will want to meet you and be around you. You don't want to be that cranky, stinky guy that no one wants to shake hands with. So take care of yourself, take care of your physical and mental, and just remember that everybody's there trying to have a good time. Nobody's there. No one paid all that much money, to be in a bad mood or bad attitude.
Yep. So bring your good attitudes, and that's great advice, man. From a vet, you know, running the show and as an attendee. P-Dot, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Be sure if you're rolling through, man, I know you want to see Tony Daniel. So I don't even got to even hype it up. I mean, if you're watching the Sig Slayer station, you already know. That's why I wanted.
Come on by.
I wanted to show people who's going to be there, just so that it's at least they can have a little bit more prep time. You know what I mean? Not like 2 day lead in. You know, so you got P-Dot at 10:17. You got Tony Daniel, man. He got Tony Daniel books. If you don't have any, he got some for you. But he got lots of great back issues, man. He's one of my favorite vendors to go to. He's always been there for me. I got this from him unsigned, and then I put in the work after that. So
we'll have lots of other stuff related to people at the show. So you know, I know Todd will be at San Diego. I think Scotty Young's going to be at San Diego. Rose Besh. I mean, you can go through Instagram right now, type in your favorite creator, and there's a high likelihood that they'll be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. It's a very stacked show this year for creator talent. So come on by our booth, 1017. We'll have not just Tony Daniel books, but other books related to people at the show that you can get signed.
P-Dot, man, thank you so much, man. I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
All right, man. Peace. All right, man. Okay, man. We'll see. I told y'all, man. I'm bringing the guest to y'all. P-Dot, man. I'm just letting y'all know this dude. He's knowledgeable, as you guys heard him, but he has the guest, man. The guest that I've been wanting to see. I didn't see him all of 2025, so seeing Tony Daniel 2026 is going to be great. This is nuts. Okay, I can't wait to go to San Diego Comic-Con now after the news of Tony Daniel. All right. But I want to keep going because I had some guests, and so there's some other things I need to unpack to let you guys know so that you guys are informed. So for the people that just showed up, say what up to my man, David Barron and Artist Alley, BBO3, man. And subscribe to the Sig Slayer station if you haven't. At the table, man, you might get some goodies there. But yeah, we're gonna be at his booth, and then on Thursday we're gonna be at BarCon. So if you guys want to get some free stuff, check us out at BarCon Thursday at noon to 1. And then this is just to get your palate, ready for the show. So this is like the preliminary stuff that I got. I think maybe last week. So this is pretty much the majority of the comic sketch art people. Okay. And as you guys know, you're not going to see a show without comic sketch art. Notable names for me, because Scott Snyder's always there. Frank Miller's always there. But I would say I haven't seen Tom King in a while. But Andy Kubert is the number one. Andy Kubert, I'm coming for you. All right. So Benjamin Percy doesn't show up a lot. So yeah, so Andy Kubert is probably the number one person on this list that I'm going to be checking out. And yes, hopefully you guys will see some coverage of me with Andy Kubert. And then Essential Sequential near Lobby F, and pretty much they have that whole quadrant there. That's where you see Arthur Adams. You'll see Jeff Loeb, David Finch, Dennis Cowan, people of that nature, Anthony Marquez. This is probably this, it's Tony Daniel, then the Ghost Machine guys, right? Put my Sig Slayer hat on, and you have Jason Fabok making his debut appearance at San Diego Comic-Con. Now, he hasn't been in the States since 2024. He was $10 in 2024. Like I said, will we see another price increase this show? Jeff Johns was $40 last time I saw him in 2024. Okay? So, not a cheap Sig, but I think they have like a package that you can get or something like that. So, yeah, just let you know, this is the Ghost Machine schedule. Now we got dudes doing God's work here. Sean Gordon Murphy, 5 free, then $5. You get a $50 remark. We talked about Quan. Quan got Stephen Platt, Jerome Opena, and John Tyler Christopher. They're all $10 a piece. Maybe Joe Quesada will be there as well. I don't know. I know Dan Mora won't be there. He was with them last week, so we won't see Dan Mora at San Diego. I know that. James Tynan IV, another guy. He's at booth 2314. Something's Killing Children, Department of Truth, Exquisite Corpses. He usually does 3 free. I wonder, is it going to be 1 free now? But he's $10 after that. Werther Deladera, he's usually $10. I'm wondering if it's going to go up to 15. I'm curious about that. But he did the most recent issue of Absolute Batman 22. So I know his line's going to be crazy because he has a 1 out of 25 variant. It just came out, and he did the interiors. So I know I'm going to see his line. And then another guy doing God's work here, my man, Dustin Wynn. This is Dustin Wynn. You get 10 free signatures, guys. And then he's $5 a sig after that. Now, he does penalize you for duplicates, okay? So if you got, duplicates, then it's going to be $5, okay? And then $20 for CGC if you're into that kind of nonsense. I mentioned Andy Kubert, man. Hey, by the way, the original art to this image will be there. You can see this image in person. Andy Kubert, definitely in my top 5 Batman artists. Speaking of which, question of the day, who are your top 5 Batman artists? Who's your top 5 Batman artists? In lieu of Tony Daniel, who's in my top 5 Batman artists, who are your top 5 Batman artists? Let me know in the chat right now. Who are your top 5 Batman artists? As we go along here, Andy Kubert definitely is in that category for me. And then, who else we got here? And then Michael Walsh. He's Scott's Collectibles. You know, down he does Exquisite Corpses with James Tynan. I think he's Tim Bones too. But you know, he's a newer guy, younger guy. So I refuse to believe he's more than $10. And then we got Todd Knock. Todd Knock. He is at Artist Alley, IIO1, and he's usually $10 a signature. He's usually $10. And then give my man Carl shout out. We're gonna be covering 24/7. So you'll see on Sig Slayer's IG throughout the week clips of things popping off at 24/7 Comics. So pretty much I'm gonna be covering 24/7 Comics, David Barron's table. We have an interview with Will Spartasio. So you'll see an interview with Will Spartasio. Here we go. Ooh, okay. Aparo, Finch, Capullo, Daniel, Kelly Jones. Ooh, that's a crazy ass starting 5 right there. That's a crazy starting 5. Let me look at this for it. So yeah. Aparo, yeah, you gotta. Finch, a lot of people like Finch. Oh, let me see. Want to see something cool from Finch? It's David Finch right here, the Heretic. From this is Batman The Returns. Right here. Speaking of Finch. And then Tony Daniel here. Tony Daniel. So yeah, I'm right there with you. He already signed this one already. So Tony Daniel. There it is. There it is. Who we got here? So SCG got Jim Aparo, Neil Adams, Gary Frank. Fabok, Finch. Interesting, but look at the common denominators though. You got Finch and Aparo, right? That's the common denominator right there. Let us know your favorite 5 Batman artists. And so going back here, and then so as I continue on to talk about San Diego Comic-Con, I echo what P. Dot was saying, and I'm telling you, if it's your first time, I'm not trying to scare you. I just want you to be prepared. You have to be like Batman, okay? You have to be prepared. Don't be scared. Be prepared, right? Definitely wear some comfortable shoes. Drink lots of water, and be prepared to be bumped shoulder to shoulders with a lot of people, okay? This is not the show where you can bring wagons and shit like that. Well, one, what are you getting a ton of SIGs from? You probably won't even be able to do it, to be honest with you, because I told you that most of the popular people that are doing signings, like Scott Snyder, he has a 10-item limit. So, but you won't have any room to drag wagons and shit. You know? Oh, woo, shots fired. Shots fired. Hey, no, I'm not. No, SEG. You're not the only one, and you know that, dude. There's a dude from Texas that I see periodically. This cat has a flatbed dolly, bro. Okay, so he one-upped your wagon with a flatbed dolly. Okay, like he bought it from Home Depot or some shit with like 8 to 10 short boxes on it. You cannot do that at San Diego. You will kill somebody. You will run over a little kid. There's no place for that shit. There's no place for that. So if you're looking, okay, this is my point. San Diego was quality over quantity. Okay. You will get signatures that you could not get anywhere else. You can get combinations of signatures that you could not get anywhere else. But if you're expecting large sums of these SIGs, you can get a lot of signatures, but a lot of books. It's tough. It's tough, guys. The days that I go, I would get 650 books signed at one. Yes, exactly. The days where I would get 650 book signs at one San Diego is over. You don't understand. This man right here, Michael Kelly, that's like my ace, okay? So we Sig Slayers, you know? Those are Sig Slayer numbers, guys. Those are 650, and I wouldn't even bat an eye. But you can't do it anymore, guys. Not at this show. At Heroes, at even at New York, you could do it. But at this show, it's just too many other people that are non-comic book related that occupy that empty space that would be at a show. Now, at New York, yeah, you can do it at New York. But the thing is, let me think about that. Yeah, you just have to take the elevator because there's elevators and shit. Yeah, you can do it. But the Artist Alley at New York is beautiful. Artist Alley in New York is beautiful. It's calm. For all the people there, it's calm. It's not hyperbolic to say, because everybody said it, that New York has the best Artist Alley. I'm not saying it's the best show, but their Artist Alley, something about it, man. It's cool. Like, you know, you're not like, I'm not sweating all. It's like, it's very manageable. New York Comic Con is manageable. It is. New York Comic Con is not hard at all. Matter of fact, New York Comic Con is barbecue chicken. Okay, let me just say it. Like Mike, where Mike at? Mike, no. Mike, tell him. Compare New York to San Diego. Which one is harder? Right? It's chill. It's loaded. It's loaded, but you know you can navigate it, man. Dude, I had a place to sit down. I'm talking about this is last year in New York. I was eating ramen in Artist Alley. You can't eat ramen in Artist Alley in San Diego. What the fuck? You can have ramen all over yourself. You will be in the bowl, okay? You would be in the bowl at San Diego trying to eat ramen at fucking San Diego. It's impossible, okay? San Diego is one of those shows where you have to, once you know who's there, you have to pick like very selective. And if you're a Sig Slayer, you know that you're just going for the creme de la creme, and you're going to get everybody else at the easier shows. Like, for example, Scott Snyder. Yeah, San Diego is way more taxing, you know. Now, they're both equally expensive, okay? So you're not going to get any money breaks on either one. But at least New York, you know, it's easier to navigate. San Diego is like Ocean's 11, man. I keep saying that. Like, if you have an agenda, you need to achieve that agenda with more than just you. San Diego is not for the beginner. If you're a beginner, my number one thing is hey, watch this program again, see who's there. Listen to what P-Dot said by, you know, wearing the right stuff, having a good attitude. But then also P-Dot said to go on the socials of whoever, you know, you're looking for, because you want to be prepared, man. And even if you are prepared, I guarantee you there's going to be 2 to 3 people that you really wanted to see, and they're going to pop up, but you didn't know that they were there because it wasn't advertised right. And so my biggest criticism for San Diego Comic-Con is that it's the most disorganized. Like, you don't know who's going to be there. And I don't know if that's by design by now, because I know they could. Those are nice. Yes. Yeah. Nice shows, great shows. Yeah, it's a different beast. It's a whole nother animal. And I'm saying that for better and worse, okay? Because the better part, like I said, the ambiance, the energy, like it's like what Carl said earlier, it's like the Mecca. It's like the Mecca. So, but you just got to be prepared to be bumping shoulders with a lot of motherfuckers. And be prepared for disappointment, right? Line caps, you could be early as fuck and the line to get capped. Ooh. So Styles So Serious. He had to think about this. So we got Hubert. That he's in my top 5. Daniel. Simone DeMeo. Okay. You liked him on the Batman and Robin. Okay. Neil Adams and Jim Lee. That's fair. Mine, I'm gonna go. So this is not in any order, but Neil Adams for sure, right? Neil Adams for sure. He's definitely on there. Neil Adams, Tony Daniel, Doug Mahnke, Andy Kubert, hold on, let me say that again. Neil Adams, I said Tony Daniel, okay. Doug Mahnke, Andy Kubert, and then Jason Fabok. Jason Fabok. I love Jason Fabok's work. Yeah, it's painful in a lot of ways. It's painful. Your body is aching, and then I do think like, okay, like that following Wednesday after Comic-Con, like I miss it. Like I always have. Like, damn, man, you're like, dude, I miss the energy. You want the energy there, like. So it's a lot of hustle and bustle, but it's definitely you get this energy that I have not gotten at any show, not at Heroes, not at Mega. No, don't get me wrong. Heroes is first place. My experience this year, Heroes is first place. So we'll see how San Diego shakes up. But right now, Heroes in the number 1 spot as far as experience this year. Because oh my God, Heroes, like, dude, we were all over the place at Heroes Con. Fabok is so dope. You're absolutely right. I love apparel. Don't get me wrong, but like Fabok and it's like Three Jokers. Like I periodically just look at Three Jokers, the graphic novel, and I'm just like, dude, like I want to cut it up and paste the walls with his work. Yes, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's so tough, but apparel's in my top 10. Apparel's in my top 10. Like, he's probably 6, But like Fabok, and then Tony Daniel. I got his work all over the place. I love David Finch too. But yeah, it's very tough to do top 5 with Batman. But definitely, guys, if you got to watch this and rewind again, there was a lot of jewels being dropped, especially by our guests. They told us a lot. But yeah, this is probably going to dominate most of Artist Alley. If you're trying, let me tell you about Scott Snyder real quick for all the people. So if you guys never got Scott Snyder before, you're going to have to go. Number 1, you got to get to the show at the beginning of the day, right? So if the show opens at 9, you got to hightail it over to Comic Sketch Art and get a Scott Snyder ticket. So you need a Scott Snyder ticket, and then Frank Miller, you can do a pre-sale on him. But if you didn't do a pre-sale, you got to go at the beginning of the day and buy a Frank Miller ticket. Okay? The rest of these guys and gals, you can just pop up on their line, get there early, but Scott Snyder, if you want a Scott Snyder signature, you have to show up at the beginning of the day, period. Okay, and get that ticket. If you don't get that ticket, you don't get no SIGs. And he's a 10-item limit. Scott Snyder is $20 a signature, and he is for duplicates of Absolute Batman #1, Absolute Batman 15, the Joker, For duplicates of those, $50. Okay, so you've got more than one of the first prints. The second one and each additional one is going to be $50. And that goes for Detective Comics 880 as well. So if you got more than one Detective Comics 880, and I'm not talking about the freaking facsimiles. I'm talking about the OG 2011 first print Tech 880. It's $20, but then after that, it's $50. So just be prepared for that. Yes, 3 Jokers is crazy. Oh, you got that? Fucker. You won a portal. I could never win a portal. So you good, yeah. So you good on Snyder, man. You get your, you know, if you got absolute number 1, get that. You got it for free, man, right there. But they probably only do one item. They're probably gonna do that one item bullshit. They better not. They better give you at least 3, dog. Or what's the point? What's the point? You know, if you got 3, you good, because then you could get the number 1, the number 15, and whatever other hot one you want, right? So yeah, that's you know, that's pretty much, you know, the size of what's going on, San Diego Comic-Con. And then just giving you guys, you know, even though I'm gonna be out of town, the show still rolls over here on the Sig Slayer station. And we talked about, you know, Spawn artists. Here's another Spawn artist, Jonathan Wayshak. He's our next guest on the Sig Slayer station. We just had Sean Gordon Murphy last week. This week we have Mark Chiarello. Now here's something, SCG, you're here. You talked about Jim Lee and the lateness, right? Well, dude, Mark Chiarello goes in on that about the original Hush, right? So the OG Hush, that there was there was skepticism if the creative team could even finish 6 issues, let alone 12 of the original Hush series. So, and then not just that, Mark Chiarello, I mean, he worked with Tim Sale, you know, so Long Halloween, Batman Black and White, New Frontier. I mean, geez, so much stuff. My favorite interview of the year so far is this week's episode of Sig Slayers, and that is Mark Chiarello. It's called The Visionary, if you've seen it. And guys, do me a favor too, man. I know you guys watch. You guys if you guys could leave a comment, an emoji, anything, a troll, I don't care, but definitely comment. Let us know, because the more comments we get there, the more we can get our programming to more comic book fans. And I believe we're the most prolific interview format channel, period. I mean, we're almost at 200 consecutive interviews, and we're not stopping. August is going to be just as big as July. And we got Wayshak coming up this week, and then we got Mark Bagley the week after Comic-Con. So we are not slowing down here on the Sig Slayer station. And then we got The Process. We're going to be live from San Diego. So the next episode of The Process, you guys will see additional coverage of San Diego Comic-Con. Yes. Thank you so much, man. Exactly. Man, a Marvel fan knows what's up, man. He knows what's up. It's going to be crazy. So be prepared. And I'm glad he sent the goodwill gesture out there for us. But we're gonna have so much coverage of San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm talking about real-time coverage as well. I'm gonna be teaming up with 24/7 Comics. He said there's gonna be a special guest that's unannounced. I hope. Put it this way: I got 3 hot books. I got 3 hot books for the person that I think is going to be there. I'm not going to say it, so I'm not going to let y'all blow my spot up. Carl didn't tell me shit, by the way, but I'm just saying, I think I know who's it going to be. I know I do in my soul, because like I had a feeling Carl was going to say somebody was going to be there that's unannounced, a surprise. I had a feeling. And so he said it tonight. And guys, all I got to say is, dude, keep popping up at 24/7 Comics throughout the week. Number 1, he mentioned, get those cards. I think there's 6 of them. And then tag 24/7 Comics. And then you can potentially win a freaking Jim Lee. You get the Lee connection, the Lee Garza. You know what I mean? You can get the connect. So stop by the 24/7 Comics booth. Stop by P-Dot's booth. Man, freaking Tony Daniel. Man, I hope you guys are impressed, dude. I'm trying to give you guys as much coverage as possible because you need an 8th degree black belt in Comic-Con going to do this show. And the least I could do is give you a little bit of, information beforehand, like these guys, and then, I mentioned Scott Snyder's $20. So just know about that and 10 item limit. Okay. Because I know people are going absolute Batman crazy. And then also, just so you guys know, Nick Dragata, he's $15 now, but he's one free. So Nick Dragata is one free, and then $15 each additional, and he's at a 10 item limit as well. So I know you guys want to see these guys, and Nick is at the Felix comic booth. So you want to know where he's at? Felix comic booth, and that's where Daniel Warren Johnson will be. I think he got ash cans for his new series. So Felix, shout out to Felix, man. He fucked around and got two of the hottest guys in comics, of artists, just overnight. Like, bam, he got them. And now Felix Comics table is rivaling Comic Sketch Art, which I love. And then, so yeah, if you're looking to get Scott Snyder and you didn't win the portal this week, $20, 10 item limit. If you didn't win a portal this week for Nick, $15, 10 item limit, guys. Hey man, but that's all for my show. I wanted to make this. I want to make this as concise as possible so that you guys can, I'm gonna after this. I'm gonna put the chapters in so you guys can go straight to the information. But yeah, Tony Daniel, man. I think he said two. Was I right? Did he say $2 or $10? If he said $2, I'm. Whew, shit. Okay, so this is going to be a great week. Now, the last thing I want to say before I go, if you see me in person and you're watching this, say, hey, Mike, you got any sketch cards on you? You got any sketch cards on you? And by the way, I'm getting more sketch cards at San Diego. Hey, Mike, you got any sketch cards on you? Hey, Mike, do you have any sketch cards on you? Tell me when you see it. Tell me when you see it. So, per book. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. I'm going nuts. That's the number one guy I want to see. Hey, Mike, you got any sketch cards on you? Look, I got all the Absolute Robins, dude. These are all original art. You got Gladiatrix. This is double signed, John Stanisi and David Barron. Heavy Metal. Some lucky person can win my nephews. I'm joking. That's mine. We got a Joe Chido. Pencils. Look at this Danny Mickey. Pranky. Armature. Steve Olaf. We got more Robins here. More Absolute Robins. So, hey, ask me, hey, Mike, do you have any sketch cards on you? And then, guys, I'm giving out blanks, too. Because if I give you a blank and I say, hey, go see such and such at their table, they might mess around and do something free for you. Okay? Absolute Harley. So if you see me at San Diego, number one, don't be a stranger. And ask me, do I have any sketch cards? This one right here. This is one of my favorites. Absolute Alfred. Absolute Riddler. And shout out to my man Jake Boston for drawing all of this. And if you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, you'll see Jake there with me. Jake is the third artist on the team. You got Doug, David, and now you got Jake Boston. Look at this Joker, man. Jake did these right here. This Joker is fucking fantastic. And then we got these. Oh, we got Trish Forstner doing some Pharaoh stuff. And then we got, look at this absolute Clayface. These are double signed, Dragata and Snyder. So yeah, ask me. Oh, we got a Sophie, Tony Fleece. Absolute Scarecrow. Double signed. And I'm about to show you my favorite, last but not least. This is Guy Gardner, Patrick Gleason. So you asked me, guys, but then I'm gonna show you my favorite one. And this made my Heroes Con special because I'm a big J.G. Jones fan. And look, dude, he did the Eye of Sauron, dude. He painted this, dude. Eye of Sauron. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, let me know. And these are on Sig Slayer Station sketch cards, guys. And this one's mine. This is mine. This stays with me. Out of all the ones, I was like, I'm gonna keep this one. And I've given out so many of these. So, guys, I can't wait to see the homies. Mike, I can't wait to see you. Thank you guys for all popping in. It's going to be fantastic. I might even have some Sig Slayer shirts to give out, too. I don't know. I'll let y'all know when I see y'all. But, hey, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Smash the like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. You know, if y'all could just, pay it forward. If you guys like what we do, it's free to leave a comment on anything. We got the most viewed Nick Dragata interview. Okay, so this is the most viewed Nick Dragata interview on all of YouTube right now. Okay, so leave a comment on anything. We got Doug Mahnke animations. I mean, that's what is getting us all these subs is Doug and our animations. But yeah, just put a little comment there. Thumbs up, anything. Good job. Keep it going. Way to go, champ. Your shit sucks. Whatever. Okay? It's all engagement. And so, yeah, man, let me know what's up. But I appreciate all the people that tuned in tonight. I'm Mike the Sig Slayer. I'll be back in 2 weeks with San Diego Comic-Con recap. And I'll also have another panel of guests. Mike the Sig Slayer. I'm out.